Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, The Lens of Truth, and for today's video is a very special one. This one is one of the reasons I actually started my channel, so I can blend in video games with the world of art, because I am a visual artist. I love video games, I love game design, I like character design. So one character who's been iconic since the late 90s, early 2000s in the Nintendo 64, PlayStation era is the Skull Kid from the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. So in this video, not only am I going to draw, but I'm also going to explain why the Skull Kid from Majora's Mask is one of the most iconic video game characters ever made, and also what makes his design so cool, so unique, and just very memorable. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the Skull Kid from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Let's go. So before we get started, the quick backstory about the Skull Kid. He was originally introduced in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in the Lost Woods, where he was by himself and playing a flute, but he really got his starring role in Majora's Mask, where he was actually playing tricks on people and they did not want to hang out with him, so he became very lonely because he thought that the four giants who protected the land of Termina abandoned him. So that's when he started playing tricks on people and they did not want to hang out with him. So this small imp decided to, one day he ran into Link when he was riding his horse and stole the ocarina, and that is how he ended up using it to also steal the Majora's Mask from the Happy Salesman, and that's when the dark adventure begins for The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Now, one of the things that makes his design so iconic and so memorable are the colors that he has, which consist of orange, green, browns, an oversized hat, which he also resembles a scarecrow, and just the fact that he's a very mysterious character with big bright eyes. Once he finds his mask, he's covered up, he acts like a child. He even has a purple fairy, and there's just a lot of things with him, with his very imp-like design, his gloves. He even has a beak for a mouth, and it's just really cool, and this is what makes him one of the most popular and memorable Zelda characters of all time. So for step number one, where I actually like to start, is just experimenting with different brushes that Procreate has, but I did end up using the color pencil brush, the HB and 6B pencil brushes, and this is the way that I did it so that it also preserves what I used for the original drawing. Now, one of the things I focused on, especially for this drawing, is the iconic Majora's Mask on the Skull Kid, and this one I just made sure that the eyes were very detailed and symmetrical, and that's why I used the copy and paste tool and used the pen brush to make sure that I copied and pasted it, and it also helps with alignment and also save some time as well. So in order for me to preserve the original mediums that I used for the traditional drawing, which were Micron ink pens and color pencils, I like that Procreate allows you to make layers, and one that really helps is using the multiply layer, which allows you to draw and color right on top of your original drawing, and it also kind of blends in both the digital and the traditional, and it just makes it very seamless and accurate to the original drawing. Now, as I move away from the face, I will be coloring in the entire figure with a base color, and this just makes sure that I'm matching everything correctly and everything is cohesive. Now for this next step of the drawing, I really went in for the details drawing this ocarina, and it's a blue ocarina, which is a type of a flute within the game of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And this one, the Skull Kid is holding it, and I did have fun making sure that there's also darker colors, shadows, and highlights, and all the very nice details that I looked up with all the resources and photo references from the video games. And for the last step, this is where we're also going to be adding highlights. So when it comes to highlights, we're going to do the opposite of the shadows, which is choosing a brighter, almost white color of the base color, and this is going to help bring out any light that's touching the surface of any object, and it's just going to also help enhance the contrast between light and dark. Now, one of the final steps that I saved was making sure that I kind of recreated the ink pen look of the outline of the original drawing, and I just made sure I used a really dark black color and drew right on top of all the layers that I had in Procreate, and this made sure that I preserved what I had before, and it just made sure it's the style that I originally had, and just made sure everything was enhanced. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed what you see, consider hitting the like button, ringing the bell to stay notified, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and have a good one. Bye. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and if you don't already know, I do stream on Twitch 3 to 4 days a week, and you might catch me streaming live now, so go ahead and check it out, and I'll leave the link in the description below. Thanks, and bye. Later.